Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Elion, and we are here with Dan and Rich from Irontooth. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Oh,
So guys, could you introduce yourselves and what you do within the band?
yeah, I'm Rich and I do lead vocals, and that's it.
Mr. Vague. I'm Dan, drummer for the band. Yeah, beatbox extraordinaire.
Cowbell.
Cowbell. Where is me cowbell? Should have brought me cowbell actually. That's
Yeah.
bad. Not proper. Apologise.
Yeah, yeah, we need more cowbell.
Always.
Always.
Let's dive into some questions. As kids, what were you listening to?
Well, with me, my family's really unmusical, really. But I grew up like with Frank Sinatra and Rat Pack, Michael Jackson, and then my sister forced me to listen to New Kids on the Block and stuff like that. The first time like I had metal though was when I stole a tape off my sister's boyfriend. I had no idea what was on it. Put it on, and then years later realised I was listening to Pantera and stuff like that. As a kid, that's what I listened to. But I grew up mainly on Michael Jackson. Still love Michael Jackson and stuff like that. On to you, Dan.
You can tell that with your lyrical content, mate.
That's it. My beautiful singing voice.
For me, mate, it was it's a bit of a weird one, really. I've always had a bit of a my mother and father were always sort of an influence with me with my music and stuff. So I used to listen to a lot of like Elvis Costello and stuff with my dad, Supertramp, bands of that ilk, really. From my mum's side, though, it was like there was a lot of Ace of Base, sort of the early 80s kind of stuff. But as a kid, I had a right soft spot for I love my boy bands, so Boyzone, Westlife, New Kids on the Block, etc. Take that. Even now, I mean, my first gig that I ever went to was A1, and I'm not even ashamed to admit that. So, and I still listen to all that kind of stuff today.
You can tell.
Oh, great time.
Yeah. So, who actually got you into music? Was it a family member or a friend, or was it somebody completely different, or was it yourself getting into it?
For me, it was like I wasn't that much into it when I was real young, but when I got to like 12, 13, I started skating and stuff, and we used to listen to NoFX and Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that. And my friend was properly into music who played guitar, so that's how I like started my first band as well through that. Because a friend of ours got leukemia and they did a charity gig, so we started a band just because of that. And that was it. And then I just started a band when I was 15, I think, and I've never not been in a band since then. So it was friends more than family or anything like that for me.
Cool.
Dan?
My mother and father really was the ones that sort of started it off for me, really. In terms of like metal and stuff like that, though, it was my brother. He kind of pushed me down that route. And sort of the first sort of bands alternate bands I started listening to was sort of your Green Days, your Blink-182s, and all that kind of stuff. And after that, started sort of getting introduced to the heavier stuff. I used to mock my brother for liking Napalm Death actually back in the day because it just used to listen to it, and obviously it's just this raw sort of aggressive, the vocal range of Barney was just like I just couldn't, just couldn't. It didn't compute with me at that point. I was like, oh, this is insane. I was like, you only like stuff that's like whoa, I was like, where's the melody? Where's the clean vocals and stuff like that, and. And like over time, obviously more exposure to it, the different kind of bands. Rich mentioned earlier about Pantera. They're probably one of my favourites. Like just the groove and the rawness, really. Just my brother was a big sort of push into this sort of genre for me, really. So I do thank him for that. Something is good. Something
One
good,
good thing.
at least. One good thing, yeah. It's a good egg, really.
Yeah. So, who inspired you to become a musician?
Well, with me, like I said, I started doing it because of a charity gig. I grew up in a small town called Driffield. There was a band called Overground there, who we were friends with, and they were amazing. So I suppose that kind of inspired me to do it. And that was it, really. And then when I moved to Hull, I met a guy called Andy, who now is a blues guitarist who does a thing called Half Death Clutch, which is amazing. So if anyone's watching, you should check that out. But he was in a band called Bulletproof, and I just worshipped the ground they walked on, kind of thing. And then I had the opportunity to have him in a band with me, and we were in a band together for like 10 years. And he broadened my knowledge of music and things like that. So I would say he inspired me to do it, really, to take it more seriously, to be fair. I would say.
Face of Scars.
Face of Scars, yeah.
Many a good gig, mate. Many a good gig.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, for me, it was that I had a bit of envy from me brother and my stepbrother. So they formed a band. I'm the youngest of the three of them, and they formed a band and used to practice in our loft back at our house in Hull. And I was always a bit envious of it, because they were all playing guitars, drums, bass, etc. And I was there. I was like, oh, I quite fancy this. I want a piece of this pie. Do you know what I mean? And like, unfortunately, I've been dealt a hand where I've got tiny lady hands. I wasn't able to play guitar or anything because I just couldn't reach the frets or anything. So, it was just I've been hindered by these for quite some time. So 35 years.
Make you feel good though.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is it. But, naturally, the natural thing for me to pick up was some drumsticks, and that's what kind of pushed me into getting into the music. But once we formed like our first band up in our loft and stuff, it was it was all go really. But it was just my brothers, seeing them do what they were doing, making noise in there. Being sort of 15 years old, I was like, yeah, this is for me. Like, I want a piece of this.
Yeah. Right. Somebody asked in the chat. This is from Chris Hardy. And he asks, ask Dan about Cliff Richard.
Sir Cliff Richard, if you don't mind, Chris.
Sir Cliff Richard.
I've got a bit of an obsession with Cliff Richard, and here we go. Here's my coaster. I've got several blouses upstairs with Sir Cliff on. Got a couple of vinyls here with him on, I think, somewhere. I've got a bit of a collection.
We do love Cliff.
Couple of Cliff vinyls. He's just the original Bachelor Boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yes.
The original Bachelor Boy. I mean, my mum used to get me his annual calendar every year. And unfortunately, they went into... they were decommissioned a few years back. So I no longer get those calendars, which is a bit of a shame, really, because that was it used to brighten up my day coming down and looking at his face. Or sometimes
you can still get them
in an open sort of like shirt. You know what I mean? Just showing his chest rub.
Yeah.
But no, I like Cliff. He's the original sort of British rock and roll star, isn't he? But I've got a bit of an unhealthy obsession with him, I'd say.
Yeah, he was classed as the UK's Elvis Presley when he first came out in 57, 58.
Oh yeah.
He was classed as too raunchy and stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, like it was.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't think about that of him now.
Oh, he's still got it, mate.
He's still going. Still got raunchy calendars.
No, don't do them anymore, mate. Don't do them anymore.
I've seen them because I get them from my mum.
No, really? Right, okay.
Yeah.
I need to hunt these down then.
Yeah, he's not looking so hot now, though.
Really?
Yeah, he's in his 80s now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on, I think he lives over in Portugal, doesn't he? So he look like a bloody California raisin now, won't
That's
he?
it.
Yeah. Never mind. But yeah, I mean, his music for me is top notch. I enjoy it.
Yeah, true.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, he's done some really good songs over the years, to be honest.
He has, yeah. He has.
Anyway, let's get back into some more questions. So, you've mentioned, Rich, you've been in a couple of bands, but could you tell us any other bands that you've been in?
Yeah. Well, the first band that I ever did was called Jim's Gun. It was just 15-year-olds playing like punk kind of stuff. Then I did one for a bit called Parasite, but that's whatever. And then the main band that I did when I moved to Hull was called Face of Scars. I think we did that for about 8 years. But it was, I mean, it's so weird thinking about it now because we didn't have Facebook and we didn't have Instagram and things like that. So we literally played Hull and that was it. We didn't play anywhere else. And then we did Face Towards Enemy, so Face again. That was with Dan's bro, and I had if you know Battalions, we had the guitarists from Battalions in them as well. And then Irontooth now, I think. Or was there another one? No, and that's Irontooth, I think, in Hull. So yeah, as I said, I think I had like 2 years off where I wasn't in a band. But other than that, and we've never had bands where we've like done bands where we've thrown people out or anything. If the band ends kind of thing. We've never replaced people. It's always just been the bands and a set of mates playing music. With Irontooth, we've taken it to another level, like more serious and things, because we've got Mr. Organised. And like with playing Bloodstock and things like that, it's just made it where we see that we can actually do something with it. Where with the other bands, it was like, I think if we'd have had the social media coverage, it would have been different, but we didn't. So, yeah, I've done 5 or 6 bands in the past. It's all just good fun. I think Dan's been in quite a few as well.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just going back to the social media side of it. It gives you a good platform, doesn't it? You know, it's there to be used as a good tool, really. I think.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's got its setbacks and its gripes and stuff, but yeah, it's useful for bands and sort of businesses and stuff like that. It's a good sort of platform, isn't it? So free advertising at the end of the day. So lovely. But yeah, in terms of bands for myself, it's I started with my 2 brothers. Up in the loft back in the day. So I was in a thrash metal band called Macabre Visions. Got the old MV tattoo there, look. 18 and foolish. Yeah. So we all got band tattoos apart from the singer. So it was like an unconventional Hanson. So there was 3 brothers and then we had Mike. So but obviously playing thrash metal. Well, we did that for about I think it was about 4 or 5 years, maybe. We played out of town a few times, but it was only sort of like local Yorkshire shows. So we played over in Wakefield a couple of times, played in York a couple of times. We played Bradford once. But the metal scene was quite good back then. Back in sort of like the early 2000s-ish to mid 2000s, it was pretty decent. It's quite vibrant. There was a lot of good bands in Hull as well, wasn't there, Rich?
Yeah.
You know, there was a good sort of like metal community, if you like. So it was all sort of kicking off quite well. I mean, you know, bands like there's Dump Valve, they were sort of leading the way with it. Obviously, yourselves in Face of Scars. I can't remember any multiple injuries with one. They were a really good band, but yeah, the scene was really good back then. But yeah, moving on, I went on to another band called Killer of Saints, and I was with them for a couple of years. And then there was another band called Hades Aperture. I did that for about a year or so, and then I packed it all in when I was about 20. 23 and I went travelling. For just shy of a year. So I sold all my gear and stuff, and that was it. I was kind of done with it all. And then when I came back to Hull after my travels, we decided to give Macabre Visions another go. So we got the band back together, and we tried to give it a go and that. But then I got run over, and I ended up breaking my hand, and had my hand in cast for 6 months. So that kind of just put it all out the way for forever, basically. And then I didn't drum again until I went and had an audition with these guys, because my stepbrother was the original drummer. He decided that he was leaving because he's in a cover band, which he earns quite a good bit of money off. So he wanted to focus on that. And he says, I expressed my desires to him to sort of start playing again. He says, no, I have a word with Rich and that, I'm going to be leaving. You could just sort of step in. I was like, oh, right, fuck it, yeah, let's go for it. So I messaged you, Rich, didn't I? I said, yeah, can I come down, please? And I came down a few times, didn't I? And the rest is history, really. So
threw you into Metal to the Masses.
Yeah, and then straight into a Metal to the Masses final in 2018, which was a bit of an experience after sort of 10 years of not playing. Yeah. Straight in at the deep end. We was unsuccessful that time, weren't we? But in 2018, but it was a really good experience, really. But yeah, like since then, it's been sort of Irontooth for 4 years ish now. I think.
We don't count lockdown, so it's 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really good fun. Get a lot out of it. In terms of what drumming and being in a band for me does, it's everything. It's the traveling around is good. It's good crack. A good bunch of lads and stuff. The gigs are good that we do. We're playing quite a lot of different venues around the country and stuff. So it's it's enjoyable. Meeting a lot of good people as well. Met a lot of good friends and stuff. So yeah, get a lot out of it, really.
I was going to say, meeting the other bands is one of the best parts of it, really.
Yeah, and especially the in the Bloodstock last year, and there was obviously a lot of bands that we've been playing with throughout the years, as the past sort of 4 years and that, and we're all sort of getting together on that weekend and just having a bit of a piss up, really, and it's been good, hasn't it? We've met a lot of good people, really, so yeah, grateful for that.
Yeah, cool. So that then leads on to what has Irontooth been up to, especially over since 2020, really.
I'll leave that to you, Dan. What we've been up to.
What we've been up to. Just making a wall of noise, really, haven't we?
That's it.
Making a wall of noise. No, well, we've been trying to record for quite a while. We've been doing it ourselves for quite some time now, but it's obviously doing everything ourselves and stuff. It's taking a little bit longer than we first thought it would do, but hopefully we're going to have something released the back end of this year, all being well. Maybe back end of summer or something, if we can. Yeah. Sam, the guitarist, the poor lad, he's the one lumbered with mastering and mixing it all. So we've got a lot of the recording done, but it's just the it's the secondary bit, really, and getting it all pieced together and sounding all right.
Sounding amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of what we've been doing and stuff, we've brought out a couple of videos, haven't we? I think we've got three music videos now, which are available on the old YouTube. So if anybody would like to subscribe, that would be super. We've got 3 videos. So there's Red Stag, Eating Glass, and The Horde. So Rich has been working his magic sort of behind the scenes to put these videos together, which have turned out really good. Actually, we had a lot of fun, didn't we, doing the Red Stag video?
Yeah.
And that was good fun. Just literally in a place where we practice, there's an abandoned sort of warehousey type bit at the top, and we're just throwing fake blood all over ourselves and just acting like idiots, really. So it was a good night of idiocy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, good fun. But yeah, there's we've got a few other little bits and bobs in the pipeline. So we did a video for Trauma Productions last summer, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Summer.
Yeah.
Last summer. So basically, it's Trauma Productions. It's make like B movie horror, horror movies basically.
Toxic Avenger.
So if you've heard of the Toxic Avenger films, it's the guys behind that basically. So the producer of that, called Joe, he asked us along, and we ended up doing an evening of filming with them and the crew and the cast and stuff. Put together this music video for us as well, and we got a little bit of a sort of cameo in the film, didn't we? Like, got a load of guns pointed at us and like fake blood chucked all over us and stuff. So that was good fun. So we've done some sort of interesting things really over the past couple of years, which has been good.
And we're going to be in the next one.
Say again, mate?
We're going to be in the next film as well. Yeah.
So in July, they've asked us back again. So we're going to be doing another video. They've asked us to write a song for the new film. And like I said, they're going to do another video with us, and again, we'll hopefully get another cameo in there.
We got a big cameo this time. Then we're going to actually maybe have lines and stuff like that, which will be funny.
So there might be like a bit of a blooper reel at the end as well, so watch out for that one.
Yeah. And lots of boobs.
Lots of boobs, yeah.
Boobs and blood, which is just drama. So
you mentioned that you're going to be releasing some material later on in the year. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we've got how many songs have we got recorded, Rich? Is it between 8 and 10? I think, is it?
I think it's 8. We're adding this Trauma, the new one, the Trauma.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So we've got 8 or 9 tracks that we're going to be putting together, and this will be sort of our first album release, if you like. We have been a bit slow with the whole sort of writing process because we've been inundated with gigs, really, haven't we? I mean, we built up some good momentum throughout 2018 and 19, and the live sets were coming along pretty nicely, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then obviously all that carnage with lockdowns and COVID and all this that kind of put the blockers on, really. And I think in terms of sort of like writing new material, we were able to get together and stuff, and I think it was we kind of focused more on putting our live performance back to the standard where we wanted it to be, as opposed to sort of writing new stuff, wasn't it, really? We had a good sort of batch of gigs sort of lined up throughout 2020. We had quite a lot of cancellations as well, obviously. We had some quite exciting gigs coming up as well. Was playing one of the Stonebait production gigs in June. We was going to be playing at Temple of Boom over in Leeds. Really good lineup. There was a lot of sick bands on there and stuff. And unfortunately, that one obviously fell foul to the pandemic and stuff. So it was more about fine tuning the live shows once we got back into it, really. Which we feel we're kind of getting there, aren't we? We're back up to speed, I guess. So, what we want to be doing really is we've got quite a few songs sort of in the pipeline that we're looking to put together. But once we get this album out of the way, obviously it'll be on to the next one, really. So,
I think the next one would be a quick release.
Yeah.
Any sort of like time scale for that release?
I mean, we ideally, if we can get something out, so I'd say sort of like mid to late August.
Yeah, August.
I think that'll be sort of a reasonable expectation, really. So we'll have to stick the boat up Sam's backside, won't we, to get it done in time. So, but that ideally, if we can get something out, because we've sort of sporadically put a couple of tracks out, like over the past couple of years, really. So we've done it sort of like, 1 month, 6 months later than the next one was out, and then another 6 months later, then we'll put the track for Red Stag out when we release the video as well. So that's the plan, really. We're looking at sort of August time, all being well.
Yeah, cool. So you mentioned that you've been doing like some like gigs to get back up to speed. Are you going to be doing a tour of that for the album when it comes out?
Some of that we'll probably look at doing, maybe. We've got a good handful of gigs really, haven't we, lined up over the next few months. So the summer calendar's sort of picking up. We've just had a couple of confirmations as well over a couple of gigs, sort of around the Yorkshire area. In terms of sort of putting a tour together, we need to look at it. It's obviously it's all got to work around sort of work schedules and stuff like that. We're all sort of working and stuff and trying to piece together a tour and stuff and get everybody off at the same time might be a little bit difficult. But maybe a couple of sort of like weekend runners where we'll do maybe a Friday and Saturday and a Friday and Saturday following, something like that. So, like I say, it's just orchestrating it really and making it sort of financially viable as well. But yeah, getting the right sort of gigs as well, really.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be next year if we did a tour. If we even looked at it, really see how the album goes and things like that, and see what new material we write. Because we need to. A lot of it is we need to sit. If we want new material, we have to not gig. So, but we love gigging. So it's like we get offered a gig and we want to play it. So the practice is to practice the set rather than sitting down and writing stuff. So it becomes a bit of a rock and hard place with stuff like that. And work just ruins everything, doesn't it? So
yeah, the one necessity. But yeah, I mean, we get a lot out of playing live, don't we? We put a lot into playing. Our performances it's pretty high octane stuff. We all give it sort of 110% to throw that cliche out there. It's we like to give it some welly. And if you ever see us live, or if anybody watching, is going to come and see us or whatever, that's what you'll probably take away. The one thing you'll probably notice more will be our bassist Dan.
No, it's Ben now.
Well, Ben's the new poster boy, but yeah, the bassist Dan has many faces which he pulls, which is fantastic. But he's got dreads down to his arse basically, and all these dreads are flying all over the place. And everyone sort of like swarms around Dan afterwards, like, oh yeah, that was great. So yeah, if you'll take that away from it. But yeah, we don't leave any stone unturned, really, do we? We like to give it some welly, like so.
So, sort of like a little bit of extension on about the tour. If all the stars align and everything is financially viable, would you do a tour over in America or over in Europe or down to South Africa or over to Australia? Would you be able, if everything aligns, and would you do it? Would you do a tour over in like Europe?
I would. I'm off now. I'll do it now.
Me. Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's if we could get that kind of exposure or whatever, or the opportunity sort of came to our door or whatever, then 100% would be open to doing something like that. I think one thing that we're trying to do next year potentially is obviously trying to sort of broaden the gig locations and whatnot and start going a little bit further afield. But we want to try and look at they do like a HRH weekender in Ibiza. So our guitarist Ben was over there for it at the beginning of May. So we're going to hopefully try, and if we can, sweet talk a few people, we're going to try and get onto that next year, which would be superb, really. So
I've just put in application to play Wastelands, which is in America. It's like a Mad Max thing. It's just a put our name forward. We don't expect to get it, but it's if they came back to us and said, "Yeah, we want you," I'd be having to obviously buy Dan a passport because he doesn't have one. But I'd happily travel all over the world as long as I didn't have to spend all my money. That's the main factor, I think, with it all. I mean, you play Manchester, and when we played Manchester just recently, hotel, travel, and everything, you're spending 150 quid.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a good night out, we go have a laugh, and we stay out and everything like that. But it's still 150 quid in it out of your pocket, kind of thing, and stuff like that. So that's the massive factor in touring, I think, as well. If you know you're going to be able to sell merch and stuff, then you're all right, because you can cover costs with merch quite well. So that'd be a big thing as well, really, I think.
Yeah. So, if anybody wants to ask any question, please feel free, and I will ask Dan and Rich the question. So, if you want to get your questions in now, please do. Anyway, so where can people find Irontooth on social media?
Dan,
Do you want to do that one, Rich?
okay. Well, we're on Spotify. Well, we're on we're on Amazon Music, Spotify.
Yeah, we're on all the musical streaming.
Yeah, TikTok.
TikTokers, whatever that is.
Facebook. We've got a YouTube channel. We have got a Twitter, but we don't really use that. Our main one, and Instagram. Our main two are Instagram and Facebook, really. Dan Contra does the Instagram, and me and him both share the Facebook. We do post quite a lot on Facebook, like gigs up. If anyone needs gig updates and things, it's always on Facebook. But yeah, with the Spotify and things, we've got the three tracks that we've mentioned before. We've got them on. They're on Spotify. It's like a hub of all the different medias that you can get it on. So it's on everything. So anything where you can put music onto a video or something, it's there. If anyone ever wants it.
Cool. Can anybody have you got like sort of like a merch site to put if people want to buy like the merchandise?
Yeah, that's we've got Bandcamp as well. So
cool.
I mean, we've got Bandcamp, but we do, like, obviously we have merch with us, but you can always even just message us on Facebook, and you'd be able to buy it through PayPal, and we just send it through like that way as well. But yeah, we have Bandcamp. We have Bandcamp like everyone does, really. And that's the only merch place that we use.
T-shirts are available in all sizes.
Not this one though.
One for the Red Stag video. So we got a T-shirt design from Ben, our guitarist. His girlfriend designed the Red Stag T-shirt design for us, and did a really good job with it. So we got a load of them printed, as you can see by Rich. Rich has put in there. Hang it up, Rich, on the fairy lights.
It'll rip them down.
So yeah, we've got plenty of those available in various sizes. So if anybody would like to have a quick skeg at that, they are available.
Cool. So this will be my last question for you. Any advice for people who want to become a musician?
It's a shit business.
All right, Les.
I would say personally, if you want to do a band, do it for fun at first, and don't ever take it too serious. Myself, it's like, because I'm an old man now. I'm 40, and it's like I've been doing it for 20 years, and it's like I've never not had a laugh with it. I've never got stressed with it and things like that. That's what I would do. If you're going into it thinking we're going to be famous, we're going to make money, we're going to do this, do it because you work. If you go into it thinking you're going to have fun, you're more likely to progress, because you're not going to take it and just have a laugh with your mates. Don't be in a band with people you don't like.
yeah, that's probably the best bit of advice right there.
Yeah. You got to go get pissed with them, and you don't want to get pissed with people you don't like, do you? So
very true indeed, mate. Very true indeed. Yeah. I think the social aspect of it is very good. If you are that way inclined, obviously, and you enjoy that, then certainly doing a band and stuff, it is good. But like Rich said, like he alluded to, it's enjoy it. enjoy it because it is fun. You can have a lot of fun with it. With these guys now, I've been playing with these for 4.5 years, and we have a fucking, we have a right scream when we're at practice and stuff. It's always a good laugh. Even driving to the gigs where you 2.5, 3 hours on the road or whatever. It's all good, light-hearted fun. I get a lot out of it. It's a lot of travel for me. Like I live over in West Yorkshire, so I'm sort of an hour and a bit away. So for me to practice, it's a good sort of 2 hours drive or whatever. But it's worthwhile. I've been doing it for four and a bit years, and I get a lot of fun out of it. Get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and I just get to hit shit. So it's a win-win for me, really.
That's it.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a brilliant talking to you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you too, mate. You too. Thanks for having us on. Much appreciated.
Right. Just got a question through. From S. Taylor. Yeah. He said, S. Taylor says, quick question. Three most influential bands.
For me, Pantera, definitely like one of my all-time favorite bands. I've all I don't know any bad song by them. And as much as you shouldn't like Phil Anselmo, I do. So I love his voice. That's it.
Yeah.
I would say, because I don't want to put them all in, but all of Phil's bands, any band that Phil's in. So, and then Clutch. They were my favorite band in the world, but I can't sing like him, like Neil. So I want him to influence me, but he just doesn't bring. I can't sing like him. And then just because it's from what I used to listen to with Michael Jackson, just his showmanship and things like that. As weird as it might sound, but I obviously one day will throw some moves like Michael on stage.
I really hope so, mate. I really hope so.
Yeah, do a bit of moonwalking. But yeah, I think they're my three most influential, really, within music, especially Clutch and Pantera. They're the bands that like the sound and the rawness of everything like that. Daniel?
Yeah, for me, I mean, obviously mimic Rich, but I mean, Pantera is probably one of the ones that are up there for me. But I'm a big sort of Mastodon fan. I really like how they've sort of progressed over the years, and how sort of progressive they are now from what their original sound was. I think every album sort of sounds different. Amazing band. I think they're probably one of, or if not my favourite, to be fair. Other bands that would influence.
Cliff Richard.
Well, obviously say Cliff, but that goes without saying. Rage and Speed On for me is another one. The rawness of them, the ballsy, they're aggressive. Really good band. That I get a lot out of listening to them, so I'd probably say they're in my top three. And I think I like a lot of my old sort of thrash metal stuff. So I'd like Slayer, as you can see in the corner there.
Yeah,
I was gonna. I noticed it.
Slayer and stuff like that, mate. So my old school thrash, your Anthraxes. Anthrax are probably one of my other favourites as well, to be fair. But I just like the speed and the rawness of thrash metal. Anything thrashy, really. Havoc, Municipal Waste, that kind of stuff. Thrash all the way for me.
Yeah. Speaking of Slayer and Pantera, I seen both bands on the same bill about 24 years ago on the same bill. Down at Milton Keynes, Ozfest 98.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nice.
I was meant to go to Ozfest and never did, and I wish I had, because I would have seen Pantera. Never got to see them. I've seen Down, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not the same level, is it?
No. I've seen all of Pantera, but all in different bands. But which was a bit annoying. But yeah, my brother, he was due to see. He was going to go see the Tattoo with the Planet thing that they had on.
Yeah.
I think that was 2002 or 3 or something like that. It was September the 11th, actually. They cancelled it because of what happened with the Twin Towers. And obviously, not so long after that, Pantera then broke up. So, yeah, it was a shame we didn't get to see them, really, but they would have been superb, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Slayer and Pantera at Ozfest 98 was absolutely brilliant because you had like the Foo Fighters, the Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, a lot of like the big names of at the time who were actually on the same bill. Absolutely brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's a stacked lineup, isn't
it? Yeah.
Really
S. Taylor said that. Yeah, S. Taylor said that Phil Anselmo and the Illegals was brilliant to see before the pandemic.
Yeah, I want to see. I've not seen them yet. I really want to see them because they were playing Bloodstock doing a Pantera cover set. I'm sure they were going to. This year, is it this year? I think, or have they cancelled now? I'm not sure.
I think they've cancelled. Actually, I'm not too sure. I'm sure that there was something released by Bloodstock, wasn't there, a few months ago about them. I think, and I'm not sure if they have actually cancelled or not. They might have done, but if they're there, we'll probably be going to see them, won't we? So
I'll be at the front.
Yes. Especially if they're doing a couple of Pantera tunes, that'll be good.
Yeah, I think because I'm sure they were supposed to play last year and they cancelled, and then they moved it to this year, and then they might have cancelled again, and you never know because of it being Phil.
Yeah, well, I know they, like over in America and stuff, they're still struggling to get visas and stuff, aren't they? Because Hatebreed pulled out not so long since.
Oh, have they pulled out now?
Yeah, they pulled out about a month or two ago.
Yeah, so I think we've got to look for them spots, haven't we? Try and get on at Bloodstock again.
Yeah, if only. Yeah. Nice.
Right, guys. Like I said, thank you so much for coming on, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. No, thanks for your time, Earl. Appreciate it. And thanks for the people for checking us out and stuff. That's much appreciated. Like, can I just plug a couple of gigs that we've got? Is that all right?
Yeah. By all means.
Sorry. So we'll be playing over in Wakefield a week on Saturday. So that's the 28th of May. Then we'll be heading over to Cottingham, just on the outskirts of Hull for Springboard Festival. That is on Saturday the 4th of June. Saturday the 18th of June, we'll be playing in Barnsley. And then we've got Halifax on the 2nd of July and Hull on the 8th of July. But all our gigs and stuff, they're all listed on our social media sites, so your Facebooks and Instagrams and all that kind of shit. So,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And like I said, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us out. Thank you, mate.